always taking flight, never think of consequences. Fuck my enemies, leave them leaking my intentions. This that hood life. Hood life is what I'm living. This that hood life.
Thank you everybody for joining us on Two Beans in a Pod. This is episode 17. I'm here joined with my co-host Downer.
What up, everybody? What up, Nato?
What's up, primo? Today we actually did like a last minute change. We were gonna be what's tonight's discussion, homies? So we're gonna be talking about the police brutality. What's going on with that? We were gonna do a spotlight on Latinos, and we were asking for people to nominate any Latino that you thought that we should shine a light on. But given the situation and everything that's going on right now with the police and what happened with George Floyd, rest in peace. We thought that it'd be important for us to shed light and discuss. I know that this is a forum for us to discuss Latino issues. Specifically is how we were, promoting the show. But I do believe that this is an issue, although, Mr. Floyd was not a Latino himself. This is an issue that does hit home with us Latinos as well. So we thought that it'd be a good topic to switch up, and then next week we'll go back into the spotlights on the Latinos.
Yeah, I think it was important. I mean, I don't know, what age group some of you guys are in, but I know, like, when the Rodney King shit happened, like, I know initially it kind of started like, oh shit, I mean, Negro, you remember that shit, it's like, that shit hit home, like, no matter what, like, it wasn't even about a color, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, goddamn, they fucked this dude up, gacho, you know what I mean? Regardless, even how they try to, portray in the whole thing with George Floyd, about, and stating, oh, we shouldn't be doing drugs. The dude wasn't on drugs. Well, that I know of. I didn't see no drug. I just heard that Chino cop was like, oh, well, don't be doing drugs, regardless of the situation. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you could be doing anything as long as you're not hurting anyone physically or something.
Like killing, in the process of killing somebody.
And you're fucking handcuffed. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? It's like, are you fucking ridiculous? Like,
so
I don't know. I was amped. I was really amped. Sorry, like,
I think to me this really kind of like really hit because it was like a long term, like you literally like saw this man kill this dude like live, like literally like. Yeah. You saw the life come, like they were like the video camera was on his face, right?
Yeah, because I know, like, sorry to interrupt you, because I know the other dude. Remember the other black dude that got choked and pretty much
said he couldn't breathe.
That he couldn't breathe.
And
but it was a little different. It was a little different just because it was like I couldn't see him. I heard him, right? I mean, and I'm not trying to take away from his death. Rest in peace that dude too. And I apologize for not knowing your name. But like she was mentioning, it was just like. I don't know. I don't know if you guys seen people die in front of you, but it's like you guys don't. That's a whole. I mean,
I've seen other people die in front of me. Like I've seen other deaths, like shots. People got shot and died. Right? Like I've seen that a couple of times. I've seen people take their last breaths like that. But this was a little bit different. Like you saw this man, like, please, I can't breathe for like 7 minutes, and the fact that. It's supposed to be people that are supposed to be helping us. And on top of the fact that you can't do nothing, I was telling Downer, I was like, bro, like, I don't know. And if I was there, I think, like, it's like, fuck it, rush them. Like, what is he going to do? What are they going to do? If you rush them, like, why did everybody, like, really, nobody really had the guts to fucking rush an officer to fucking save a life? Okay, you might get tackled. Okay, they might video record that. They might get you for assault on but you saved the life. It's a life, right? Like, even if you would have shoved or made shove the chino into him to make him like let go, like just let loose of that neck just a little while for the foot to adjust and make sure that he's not back on his neck or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was really hard to watch. And so it reminded me of like a video that Conejo put up not too long ago. Conejo the rapper.
That bunny, guys.
And he put up this video about this, and he was raza about this fool who this vato who was like, and at first all you could see the video that Conejo had put up was, you could see like he's just from the back, somebody's recorded from like a porch, and he's across the street, and homeboy's like against the fence, and he's like, he has his hands behind his back, and freaking there's 2 police officers, and one of them is like in his ear, like, but he's already like with his hands behind his,
that got beat up.
yeah. And then the fucking officer just starts bombing on him, and he's like, "Fool, what the fuck is wrong with you?" And the S is just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And does nothing. And this fucking cura just goes ham on him and just lets him have it. This was a couple of weeks ago, at the most, right?
Even touching bases on a more recent one. If you look up, there was an incident. I forgot the guy's name, and I had it, but it was another one in LA. A dude got pulled over, and he was Latino. He got pulled over for a traffic thing, right?
Yeah.
And the hoorah just decides to stick his hand in the car and try to like open it, right? So the dude's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, kick it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, like the officer didn't care. Initially, he was like, "Oh shit," kind of like stunned that the dude was like trying to talk back, but they're recording him, and the dude even calls in for a fucking supervisor, and then the dude just starts again too. Just wailing on this fool. Boom, boom. Like, what the fuck?
Well, then I saw a later video. You're right. The homegirl OG, Arte de Carrillo on IG.
Uh-huh.
She was saying that, well, good thing that they were fired, and hopefully they file charges. That was another discussion that we had. The vato was from Pico Union. The officer has priors too. See? Oh, so you saw that. That's what we're talking about, right? Like, most of these officers have priors. And we were talking about that. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, he got fired. Yeah. Like, that's it. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Cool. Like, nah. There's, like, I was telling Downer, you know what we need to do is we need to fucking go to these fucking officers' houses and disrespect them at their homes the way they're coming into our homes and our streets and disrespecting us here. Like, let's see how you like it when we're disrespecting you in front of your families. You know what I'm saying? Because you're coming into our barrios and disrespecting us in our homes. You know what I'm saying? This is not your neighborhood. These are not your barrios. You know what I'm saying? And you're coming in here and acting like you're like somebody up in here. What if we walked into your neighborhoods and your homes and shit like that and then walked up and did the same fucking shit and terrorized you in front of your fucking families and neighbors, I
think,
what the fuck?
Yeah, and she's exactly everything she's saying. I'm with that. This is another thing that I'm kind of like, what the fuck about? And I'm just gonna put it out there. Like I told Erica, I'm tired of kind of being like a little timid on saying certain things because people might get offended. But you know what? I'm sorry. If you get offended, fuck it. Call me out. We could do whatever the fuck you want, however you feel like it. This is the way I look at it. We're gangbangers, right? If somebody comes and smokes my homie from another neighborhood, we quick to go fucking act, right? We're quick to go fucking pull out something, go look for this fool, send a couple of homies, all this shit, right? But when police officers that are supposed to be here to protect and serve, you know what I'm saying? And don't protect me and serve me, fool. But the people that aren't gangbangers and aren't doing all this shit that's like bad, these are the people. I mean, they're not killing gangbangers. Do you get what I mean? You guys realize that? They're really killing like innocent people that are bystanders. Do you get what I mean? Like, they're not killing fucking people from the mafia out in the street. They're not killing fucking, terrorists. They're literally killing and choking and taking lives from normal people. The dude was supposedly trying to get like fucking food for his family. Like,
he was like writing a bad check at the grocery store. Like, and the fool from Pico Union, there was a other video that I saw later where it showed, like, I think it was like the body cam that was released from the officer where it showed that he was or one of the officers, it showed that he was like in an empty lot, like chilling, like, and they're like, "What are you doing here? Come on, get out of here." And he just like starts walking out, and he's like, "All right." And he's like, "Well, whatever, I'm walking out, fool." Like, and the officer's like, "Well, get out." Then he's like, "I'm walking out, fool. You don't have to be a dick, some shit." You know what I mean? Like, "Fool, I'm walking out." And he's like, "Well, you're a bitch," like some shit. He tells him, like, as he's walking out, he's like, "You know what? Come here, da da da." And that's when he starts like tripping, like, you know what I mean, like, where it's a power trip. You feel me? Like, that's all it is. It's a power trip ultimately. And so that's what sucks about it. It's like, how do you get these fools, off this power trip? You know what I'm saying? Like, because, and then there's the argument, well, they only get paid a certain amount of money. Well, don't be a fucking hura then. You know that's what you get paid. You know that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't got the heart for it, then don't fucking do it. You really don't want to be a part of your community and cleaning up your community, like on some real shit, then don't fucking do it. What we need to be coming back to is community policing, where it's like the own community. The police comes from within your own community. You know what I'm saying? So freaking the homie's fucking daughter, who just fucking graduated from high school, you know what I'm saying? Even though he was from the hood, but she's like, you know what I'm saying? Going straight. She's the one, and we know her. Like, so we have respect. Okay, we know your father. Like, we know your cousin. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Community policing, where it's like, all right, well, that police officer no se va a pasar. Sure. Right? He's no se va a pasar because he knows what's up. You know what? I know your great or cousins or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what it should be.
What it is, what that boils down to is like what we've talked about before is how like we need those type of people, right? Like I don't need some punk motherfucker. Like I'm sorry to say it, but I'm gonna say it. White boy cracker motherfucker that got punked in school in the hood all his life. Didn't go to Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? But decided to go to school in the hood, get punked, fucked around with all, and then he becomes a cura. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, power tripping. Like, we've all been there. I mean, Pasadena juras, Nato will know. Erica could testify. Yeah. Pasadena juras are like trash. From
they're gangbangers. There's a gang. It's a gang with a badge. You know what I'm saying? It's a gang with a badge, pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were just caught selling in Pasadena.
Yeah, and I've
straps in Duarte.
Yeah, and I've said it before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. Calderon, everybody knows about Calderon in Pasadena. He's a fucking piece of shit. And this fool has a baby from my homegirl. Like, got her a little spot on the side. Got his little baby mama over here. True. And then got his wife over here. You know what I'm saying? It's that's like these juras are corrupt. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part is this. They're at to the point where no one we're going to respect the jura. And it's fucked up for the ones that are trying to be there like legit. You know what I mean? Like, really trying to protect our families or our kids and
that brings me to a comment that the homegirl just said, on IG. She was like that they're on the freeway right now, freaking, and they're vandalizing and acting a fool, like in LA. This happened in Minneapolis. In case you guys didn't know what's going on or whatever, it happened in Minneapolis. So that's not even Cali, that's on the other side of the country. And here in Cali, they're riding, and she's like, that's not going to help the situation. And it brings me back to, like, around 6:30 or something, the dude, Freeway Ricky, the real Freeway Ricky, he was on live with somebody. I don't know the dude he was on live with, but he was on live with somebody, and he was saying that TMZ had just reported, that there was vandalizing and shit going on in LA, and he was like, that's not going to help the situation. We shouldn't be attacking all officers. Not all officers are like bad officers, right? But then at the same time, it's like that's kind of like what they're doing to us.
That's what I just said, right?
Not all,
you know what I'm saying? Gangbangers.
Not all freaking Mexicans are criminals, despite what Trump says, and not all blacks are criminals either, despite of what they might feel like. Oh shit, I'm in fear because he's black. Whenever I pull a black over or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So. What can we do though? Instead of just talking about the situation, what can we do? What should we do? Okay. Let's not just gossip and say, like, mira lo que están haciendo and this and what can we do?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, we need to. I think for sure for us,
what will work
as our gente, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring it back old school. We need some motherfucking brown berets up in that motherfucker
I do too.
Again.
Yeah, respect those officers that are solid, though.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, straight up, like, we need some brown berets. Like, I can't feel that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful to anybody. I give a fuck about any cop. I don't give a fuck how good you're doing. Until you stop doing what you're doing, I'm sorry. Fuck them all. From the top to the fucking bottom. Because you know what? This is where I'm at. And this is why. Not all those officers were fucked up. The chinito that was standing there didn't do shit. But did he do anything to defend the dude?
So that was fucked up.
No, but He didn't physically harm.
But there's some officers I'm pretty sure that she's talking about who are solid that would have done something. There are those officers that would be like, oh, you know what? Like, nah, I know you don't see it, but because people don't air that.
No, you're right.
I'm sure that it does happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is where I'm at. There's this black dude that just came out on IG, an officer.
There you go.
That spoke about it. You know what I mean? And was like, don't just fucking stand there. It doesn't, whoever, you know what I'm saying? What everybody's doing wrong, you need to check that motherfucker. And he said that shit, and that was dope, right? Yeah. I think that's really cool, like that the dude said that. But there's too many officers that, I'm sorry to tell you, that will not want to lose whether it's their job, being suspended, or anything like that. They have families too. So do you get what I'm saying?
There's no real whistleblowing protection within the police departments.
Like that fool snitches, and they say, they're probably fucking him up or switching him to some other bullshit or doing this other, and then so that's where I'm at. Where it's like, sorry, like I'm sorry, just like our gente and our people and the black people are suffering and getting injustice with all the shit that's going down. This is not just happening right now. I'm sorry. We have artists that's been talking about this, as even us individuals, for decades. This isn't something that's new. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a revolving fucking door that if none of us do anything.
So what are we gonna do?
So, just in my opinion, fight fire with fire, straight up, fire with fire.
So isn't that?
That's just my opinion. Sword, you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword.
So isn't that what you think? Isn't that what they think they're doing right now in LA? Is fighting fire with fire?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much because you're taking it back to the LA Rodney King,
yeah.
Right? That's what they pretty much did, is fighting fire with fire. So they started attacking and shit like that. How did that work?
Well,
so why is it going to work now?
No,
it's
I'm
like
not saying
you're trying
it is.
the same
I'm not
thing
saying
and
it is going to work.
Different results.
I'm not saying that it is going to work.
So we want to do something that works. What can we do that will work?
The difference that I'm saying is, if they kill one of us, whether it's brown, black, white, fucking yellow, green, purple, all these other fucking colors, whatever you guys want to call each other, at the end of the day, they do not give a fuck about us at the bottom end. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, the people at the bottom that do all the work, that do all this bullshit, you know what I'm saying, that are paying taxes, your taxes that you guys are all paying, that's what funds over there, you know what I'm saying? So I think not only do you have to go to your city meetings and actually speak up and on a continuous thing, not just like, oh, we're going to do this 1 or 2 times, or even assaulting other officers, right? Like fire by fire. No, it's everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. If you have a friend that's a hura, you need to call that fool up and check that fool. Like, hey, that's not what you're supposed to be doing, right? Or this and that. Because I have friends that have cop friends, and they're like, oh, yeah, fool, I love that shit. I like some fool to get carried away and whoop-de-whoop. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow. For reals? I wish I really had a cop friend. I swear. If I had a cop friend, that motherfucker would be tied up right here, right now.
I don't know what I think we should do.
That's just my opinion. Mine. That's just mine. As a personal mind downer, not what we should all do. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I'm just tired. I'm sorry. I'm tired of it. Put me in a spot where some shit's gonna pop off, and somebody's gonna do something fucked up, and then we're gonna see what's up. I ain't gonna be that motherfucker recording. Trust me. I'm not gonna be that fool. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting frustrated because it's to the point where I believe we just have to do something different as the older people. You know what I'm saying? Because the youngsters are all misled. They don't give a fuck. They're wilding out on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? So
that brings me to how I'm saying, I don't know what I think we should do, because I was watching a bunch of stuff, and there was this guy, Kevin. He's a Emmy award-winning sports announcer, Kevin Cuenca. I might be saying his last name wrong, but I didn't know this. So he went on IG and he did this whole post earlier, and I don't. I mean, I follow him, so that's why I saw it or whatever. But he doesn't really come up on my feed like that often or whatever. But this, I guess, because I was looking at different stuff like that, it came up on my feed. He came up on my feed, and he was like talking about this. But I had never seen him really highlight any political issues or like civil issues or anything like that. So I was like, oh shit, okay, he's highlighting it. And he was talking about how, as a white man, he felt that it was his responsibility to post something to say like, this is not okay, and I'm actually pretty disgusted by it, because he probably has little white boys following him. He didn't say in those words, you know what I'm saying, but young men that are following him, that are going to be in some sort of positions, political positions, police officers and stuff like that look up to him, where, because as a Caucasian white man, where they could say, they could see like, oh wait, there's this white man, influential white man, that doesn't think that this is okay. So they have to, white men in those types of platforms, who have those type of platforms, need to speak up as well. So we need to start working with the young men, you know what I'm saying, that are going to be officers, like how you were saying. That's why it brings me back with that, in terms of like, what should we do? I think we could have like an open discussion or a forum where we're bringing about, and this is what I told him, because he said that, and I was like, okay, I love what you're saying, and I was like, what can we do about it though? He's like, oh, we need to look united. And I was like, okay, looking united and being united is another thing, right? So I was like, you know what, why don't we just like do some kind of like forum, like where we have a bunch of influencers, white Caucasian influencers like yourself. And I said, because Gary Vee, I'm a huge follower of Gary Vee, has also, and I thought that it was the first time that I had seen Gary Vee also shine some kind of spotlight on it.
This and I was like, everybody.
I was like, oh, that's dope that he's shining light on it too, and so I was like, I go, people like Gary Vee, like this Kevin and gentlemen who are white, who should get together with Black and Latino influencers at the same level, and then have a roundtable discussion with people from the street. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, you guys have all this influence, and that's what I told them. You guys have the political, the social, the financial support that we don't. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to talk about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying? Have a discussion with us and ask us, how can we help you with our platforms that we have as white men who have, really good, insights and our foot in, and we have pockets, you know what I'm saying? And you have the ability to actually call other white people for pockets to be able to make a difference. Like, I think you should sit down and talk to us, not think what you think is sit down and talk to us down on a street level and say, okay, what is it? How can we amend this? What can we do? And then John Henry, he's a producer. He hit me up and he sent me some information about like, right? Yeah, platforms are essential. He sent me some information and he said, you know what? They were saying that if we want to hit and you really might want to make a difference, what you do is you hit the insurance companies that are insuring these police departments, which are backing up these police officers in murders, in assaults. And because insurance company pay these off, right? So what you do is you hit the insurance companies who are insuring this type of and you're like, you know what, we're protesting. Nobody's fucking getting that type of insurance. If you are of an insurance company who is insuring a police department that has some kind of history of some kind of brutality, and then boycott that insurance company. And do something with that insurance company.
Exactly. And just so you guys could understand it, they don't. What she means by the insurance is like, so when somebody gets sued, when they get sued, right? They don't pay it. The Pasadena, just an example, Pasadena, police gets sued. Erica sues them and she wins the whole fucking thing. $4 million. Guess who pays that?
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but guess who pays that? You do again.
Yeah.
So you are not only paying
insurance money.
Not only are you paying them already to do their job, But now you are also paying these insurance fucking companies to do the same thing. Do you get what I mean? So it is. I do agree. I think that's a good one. Whoever was mentioning that one, that's a good one.
John Henry.
I thought that was dope.
John Henry, for that information.
Yeah. And not only that, but this is another thing that you guys don't realize is accountability. And I think at the end of the day, whatever city is being like, say whatever, say
where your police, has a police department with an issue.
Like Pasadena, say for example, right? I think the Pasadena residents should be holding these cops accountable, not fucking IBAs or whatever the fucking what is that shit called? The internal affair bureaus or whatever not them, because
they always have internal investigations.
Not them.
That's another thing.
That's a whole other fucking stupid thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about us.
It stays within.
We need to go to the city and say, hey, check it out. We're gonna fucking vote for whoop whoop these many people, and they're gonna hold the fucking cops accountable.
So there goes is to like how we were like talking about in one subject about politics and voting and how voting matters, right? Like for example, in Pasadena, we had this whole mayor election like going going this run, and there was a candidate who's a Latino who's running, and all the Latino and the black people, because we have historically had like for years white men being mayors in the city, and we currently have a white mayor, and so we're like, you know what, but we're a lot of Latinos here and stuff, so we're like, you know what, like we gotta do something and change, right? So there's like, okay, they say this Latino candidate, and everybody's like, okay, that must be the way to go. Well, this Latino candidate is like runs like real hand in hand, like real back. He's with the police department. He's been with the police department, working with the police department.
He's a fucking attorney.
Hand in hand. Yeah, he's an employee or labor attorney, but he's been working hand in hand with the police department for years, right? With the and what I'm saying by, you might be like, what's so wrong with him working with the police department? With the corrupt police department, close with the corrupt police department that recently had to have their chief of police step down on his own. And that's who his like best friend was.
Yeah.
And that's who you don't even know who you're voting for, and that's who they're gonna end up like voting for.
Yeah, and they're like, oh,
as a mayor,
he's a Latino.
Because he's a Latino.
So Victor Gordo's a shit. Fuck Victor Gordo.
We gotta get into that type of shit too.
He's a fuck. Look, I'm sorry. The whole thing of like, oh, let me vote for this guy because he's my color or my ethnicity or something. That's just gone out the door already. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to really, really having our own people doing our own. Even policing. Even neighborhood watch. Straight up. Neighborhood watch. It has to be us. You know what I'm saying? It has to be me and Erica, fucking my daughter, my son. People that really give a fuck about this city. You know what I'm saying? Not these motherfuckers that come in here and want to patrol and want to do this shit just because they want a paycheck or, I was told to be an officer and, whoopty whoop. Like, nah.
Because I got bullied when I was a kid and, you know what I'm saying? I want revenge.
Like, Negro, if you still on this motherfucker, like, when we were young, Erica's seen all the shit they did to me as a fucking, like, when I was on probation. And when I was, like, all this shit, like, illegal shit, straight illegal shit. Like,
we were tased, beat up, his freaking money was stolen, and his cell phone was stolen in Chino, by Chino PD. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You're stealing money and cell phones?
Yeah, like my cell phone, because
bums.
I was recording these fools trying to fuck with my daughter. So therefore, whoopty whoop, I acted crazy, whatever, all this shit happened, you know? But even before that, if you guys go onto my Facebook, and you guys will see the day that I told Erica, wake up, fool, there's a fucking cop in the window. And this motherfucker was at the window on our shit, opened my gate and everything. And then took off. And I went chasing this fool, and then I was like, hold on, I'm chasing a cop, or following a cop. Is that a good idea? Nah, let me return. Right? Next thing you know, the cops are at my house, and then this fool doubles back. Right? And it's like, it's on my fucking Facebook. And I'm telling the fucking the sergeant fool. Remember that shit? It's on my Facebook.
On Riverside?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on my Facebook. And I'm telling the fool, this fool was in my house. In the back of my house.
Creeping through the side of the house where nobody goes
and they were like, oh, yeah, well, that's your word against his. And
he did come by here. First, they were like, he hasn't even come by here. And then we were like, what? And then they're like, well, actually, they have his patrol did come by here, but he came and drove by here. It doesn't show him. He never actually made a stop.
Yeah, he did.
Like, what he had, I mean, we caught him freaking pulling off.
Yeah, like I have it. Like I have a recording on fucking Facebook. And these because in Chino, they didn't like us because we used to back up our kids a lot. Like, my kids used to do all kinds of shit, and I used to be like, fuck it. I'm going to back them up. I'm going to use the law just like them. Straight up. I'm going to use the law to help me help my kids. And, you know, obviously through Erica, I learned shit, you know. So I'm like, boom, 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 you know. And they're like, oh, my God. And they're like, so Chino police had a fucking day with me. Like, anytime they caught me, they're trying to fuck with me. I'm trying to fucking do something or start up some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, no, man, we need to stop
That's
this
why we
shit.
left there, actually, too. That was a major part of why we left there.
Like, it was
at the last,
harassment.
I was like a month before war, we fucking hazed in front of my son, who was like 9 years old, and at my doorway, because I didn't want to come out of my house. I was tased.
Yeah, like and like I said, I was on my house, in my home, and I'm fucking recording these fools fucking with my daughter, right? And they're like, "Hey, sir, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Fuck you! What are you doing? You're in my house." And all hell broke loose. You know
that was it.
Like all hell broke loose. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I'm still leaving. I'm still running from that bullshit. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm telling you, it's crazy, man. Until we fucking do something as a whole, though.
They didn't go through enough training. That's another thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Training,
And the whole, just to talk about this too. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the mayor, I think the mayor of Indianapolis,
Minneapolis. You already confused me. I know you put that on IG too. Indianapolis or something. I'm like, what?
Minneapolis, whatever the hell.
Minneapolis.
The mayor, I think, came out speaking about the shit and was like, look, I know some cops have to have 1 to 5 second split decisions on certain shit, right? Like, it's just quick. 1, 2, whatever the hell. However you want. This motherfucker had 300 and something, 400 and something, 500 and something seconds. It wasn't a split decision. You know what I'm saying? And he still didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he had 7 minutes that he was doing that.
So, yeah.
So the homegirl was saying that we all, like, lack conflict and coping and conflict resolution skills, right? Like, that's what they kind of need too, right? And I remember with the Western Justice Center right here in Pasadena, like in 2013 or something, they actually held a conflict resolution skills workshop at the Western Justice Center, and so I have a certificate for conflict and resolution.
But we did that at PCITI too.
That was a little bit different, yeah. But this was like a whole like extensive 3-week program, and I got a certificate to go, and that's what kind of helped me with the. So we did like community intervention. We went through a whole community intervention program out in South Central LA with some like hardcore
professional intervention community.
PC, Professional Community Intervention Training Institute.
Yes, PCITI.
Yeah, professional.
Akil Bashir, the shit. Go fuck with them.
And so with a bunch of like real OG heads,
Black Panther kind of shit.
And it was an awesome experience because we were, I think, maybe 1 in like 5, if that, Latinos in a class of like maybe 50 fools from the streets of like LA, like, you know what I'm saying, for all kinds. And there was Crips and Bloods in the same fucking room, freaking breaking bread. Every day we would come in for training and we would fucking break bread, and, you know, for lunch, and all of us chop it up together, and we were all the only one of the only Latinos.
We were the first Latinos. There's more now.
There's more now.
There's a lot more now going through it. But when we first did that shit, I was even like, I'm telling you, And it ain't no racist shit. It's just how I grew up, right? When I first was there, I was like, damn, babe, I don't even know. Like,
he was like, because,
I don't want to chop it up with these fools.
He was like, nah, fuck them. Like, fuck that. Nah.
And I told him. I straight up told him. Like,
I think that's where it started breaking down, where he was kind of like, okay, we're not that different. Yeah. Through that whole training institute with community, because what he wanted to do was come and hit the streets and help, the raza out here in Pasa, right? And he was like, I don't give a fuck about that. And then especially because out in Pasa, the PDLs were like, fucking, we lived like on their block. You know what I'm saying? So like they when growing up, they really fuck with him. Like, well, not like, oh, they fuck with him like that, but they will go at it. It's not like, oh, they had the upper hand or whatever, but they will go at it. You know what I'm saying? And so he had like this different type of experience, with the community, with the black community.
And it was funny because at the end of the day, the fool that I clicked with the most at PCITI was a fucking sangre, was a blood. To this day, that fool calls me Brimbo from
what's up?
From Brims, like, he's the shit. That's a straight soldier right there.
Still follows up. There's a couple of people from that organization that still follow up on Downer, which I think is like pretty awesome, because that means that they are what they were from. But that's like working on that's part of what we're saying. And that was a small collaboration with the LAPD. They did come in, and I think that's why kind of we fell off, if I remember, because there was a little bit too much collaboration that they wanted the community interventionists to have with the PD. And how can we keep the reputation that we had on the streets if we were collabing so heavy with the PD, or like, and then when we came into Pasadena, that was LAPD, and then when we came into Pasadena, then we sat with the chief of police in Pasadena, and we were like, we'll take care of this. We've been trained to take care of this, and we'll take care of our shit on our streets, right? And then they were like, all right, well, they just come and give us information. We were like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And just to,
like, we're not doing that.
And just to, like, it's funny because, we got the homie, the family, you know what I'm saying, Negro, the family and shit. He's in Mexico, and, in Mexico, he's all like, hey, police officers over here, they act up. They gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh shit. That's almost the crazy reality of Mexico and here, right? It's like, cops can't act up over there. Because next thing you know, they dead. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking chief of police chopped fucking heads and sent to their family. And you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying.
I know. So the primo in Mexico is like, what the fuck are you guys complaining about over there?
What are you guys crying about that shit? Like, fool,
come to Mexico.
They killed the whole fucking police station here.
Chillones. He's like, what the fuck?
Nah, but on some real shit, you know what I mean? Like, we really do need to make something. You know what I mean? We need to do something. Okay. I don't know what it is. And I can't give you
I think it's a variety of things.
Yeah, I can give you my opinion. And it's kind of like, it goes back to politics, right? Because this is where I'm at. I'm not going to agree with you. You might not agree with me. She might agree with me. Another person might not agree with me, but agree with her. So look, as long as we come together, though, and we all give opinions and our facts or our opinions and what we think is best and all this other shit, only then will we get to the bottom of what is best. You know what I'm saying? And as a whole, we got to agree on something. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't no fucking joke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying. You
He's like, shut up, fool.
Like,
he's like, coming for me. He's like, shut up.
Like, it's straight up. Like, that's the way. That's what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm tired. I'm seriously, man. Like, I'm so tired. But it's like, do I sit there and be like, fuck it, don't give a fuck, and let me go out for my family and just be fucking caught up on some bullshit? Like, nah, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'll be down to do it with a couple of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
I think that at the same time, while we do want to keep it like as humane as possible, that I think that we do need to show that we can get into their homes and their neighborhoods and harass them in their space too.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Know what I'm saying?
I'm serious. I'm not even lying.
Maybe somebody should leak like a list of like officers' names who like known to be like corrupt.
No.
And then you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give it to you like this. Erica knows me. She knows me very well. Okay? This is what I'm gonna tell you. I have one hoota already that I've went because I do Uber Eats. Give a fuck. I do Uber Eats. I went to their pad and there were hootas. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh damn. I fucking memorized that fucking address.
Stay away.
I memorized that address.
They're gonna Uber Eats is gonna check all their fucking Uber orders and see.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers! You guys want to play games? Let's play this motherfucker. And as a matter of fact, I have two. One's right here in Boston, but I think that fool's a fireman. I think he's a fireman. But the fool in San Marino, kind of South Pasadena, going on to Alhambra, that fool's a hoota. He's a straight hoota, straight fucking hoota. You know. And I'm just like, all right, motherfuckers, y'all want to play these games? We could play this shit too. Like, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to fucking fake the funk. I'm not trying to fucking follow no whoop-de-whoop. No, I'm being honest. Like, it comes to a point where enough's enough. Straight up. Like, this country isn't made of white people. Isn't made of Mexicanos. Isn't made of fucking blacks. It's not made of Asians. It's not made of anything. This country is so, like, we have an abundance of people and cultures and mixing and everything that's like, can we be a country that fucking leads by example? The way we're supposed to be? Like, for real, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the fuck are we going to stop with this shit? Because, look, I'm going to break it down to you. It could be way back as fucking pilgrims, right? The pilgrims, oh shit, the Indians helped these motherfuckers plant, and what they do? Food, these motherfuckers didn't even know how to grow food until they showed them, and then what they do? Murder their asses. So I'm just saying, it ain't new. We need to fucking get out of this bullshit and fucking be on some serious shit. Because ain't nobody gonna give a fuck other than us. They don't give a fuck about us. If Erica dies tomorrow, the only people that's gonna give a fuck is us, the family. Who ain't gonna give a fuck? So, I'm just saying, eye for an eye. Remember, eye for an eye.
I don't know. I did want to give information to, I guess that guy, Kevin Cuenca, is gonna have some links to some petitions, that are gonna
Kevin
be...
is the fool with Concrete Light, huh? Concrete?
I don't know. He's the one who does the rap videos. Skits. The rap videos in his car. He's the white dude that does the little rap videos.
I don't talk about not just rap. He does all kinds of shit.
All kinds of shit, yeah. But so check this out. He was like on his thing. Good thing you brought it. On his thing. Freaking.
Rafa's done all kinds of shit. I know.
He mentioned and he was talking. Did I mention this already? He mentioned and he was talking about how he got fired from being a sports broadcaster or announcer because he was doing hip hop videos, and he specifically said, and he said it on this whole post where he was saying that the police officers.
Well, he brings the people and he sings with them.
No, guy? No, that's a different guy. It's a chubby guy.
I'm sorry.
So
this guy's chubby too.
No, he's thin guy. I know that's a chubby guy. My guy is a thin guy. So this guy, he was saying that
he got fired
because he was a sports news guy or whatever, and he got fired because he was doing hip hop videos in his car, right? And so he was like, okay, it's cool that these guys got fired, but that's all they got is fired for killing a guy on the job. Not like he got fired for doing hip hop videos. I mean, like, does that equate to the same thing? Equate. Like, no. So definitely there has to be other repercussions. Like, you can't just say, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get fired too.
No, you know what?
I'm just gonna go. The police officers are just gonna go kill people when they get fucking frustrated or whatever. Because all it's gonna do is I'm gonna get fired, and ultimately I hate this fucking job. You get what I'm saying?
You know what?
Like,
all you CDC.
So you're giving like an incentive to killing. Like, okay, you
Yeah,
kill somebody, you get an incentive, you get fired, and you get to get out of this job that you so much hate, obviously, because you're fucking killing people on the job. You have to hate your job.
But you know what I think is the worst shit too? Because look, we're gonna break this shit down even a little further, right? So let these cops even get arrested. Say they get arrested. Say they go to jail. Do you think they're gonna go to general population? Just like you and I will go to jail? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it comes. That's when it's like it still isn't fair. You know what I mean? Because these motherfuckers are gonna have it good. They're gonna have a TV. They're gonna have this. They're gonna have freedom. They're gonna have all this other. No.
So what is
Fuck
fair?
you, CD. What is the correctional
So what is fair?
department of some shit? I think it's CDD or CDC.
California Department of Corrections.
Yeah, that fuck you guys too. You know what I'm saying? Because you bitch ass fools protect these motherfuckers and then put them in protective custody with a bunch of other fucking faggots that did the same shit. Do you get what I'm saying? No. They need to go to jail. Just like if I went to jail, even if I was a snitch motherfucker.
Well, I mean, yeah.
No, hold
well,
on.
you guys,
Even
you get
if
to
I was
PC
a
up.
snitch motherfucker, even if I was a fucking whatever the fuck I was, right? As long as I say it, that I am that, then they protect me, right? But if I
They're
don't
saying
say
they're
that,
an officer.
but I don't say that, they don't even gotta say it. They're marked as officers, right?
Well, to a certain point, you're marked as a PC.
No, because it's only if you say it. It's only if you decide to say, hey, you know what? I can't go over there. They're gonna fuck with me because I'm a PC. No. Put these fucking officers in fucking general population. Straight the fuck up. I bet you other officers, I'm just saying, if you guys are really with it, like CDC, and I'm just saying.
I think we just need to go into the neighborhood.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying.
Like where their families are at.
CDC,
just like they're coming into our neighborhoods where our families are at.
No, yeah, but it's because some of these CDCs are privately owned. So that's what I'm trying to say. Fuck that privately owned shit too. We run this bitch. This is our shit. Them cops don't need to be in protective custody. Put them in general population. And let the Peckerwoods, let them white boys roll with them fools. See what happens then. You know what I'm saying? Because they need real fucking life, karma, fucking destruction in their life. Without that, they don't give a fuck. Do you get what I'm saying? If I'm living good in jail, do you think I give a fuck about fucking going to jail? No.
But they're not even going to jail. So that's why they don't give a fuck. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Even the ones that do go to jail, even those are even privileged. So fuck them too. So the next motherfucker's like, oh shit, I'm not gonna go to fucking I can't even say protective custody. So I'm fucked. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like your kid, right? It's like your kids. Think about it. You know, you have a family, you have your kids, and you fuck, you know, you have 5 kids. Straight up, you have 5 kids. And you give one kid the favorite, they're all gonna do the fucking, they're all gonna wall out. Do you know what I'm saying? So no, don't let them do that. Treat them all the same. Just, they're a criminal. It's a criminal offense. Put them in until they say, okay, I'm done. Put me in general. I'm done. PC me up.
I'm a PC.
Then PC their asses up. But till then, put them in general fucking population. Straight up. Right? Seriously.
That's like once they're, well, if they get arrested, I guess, but they're not very many do, so I don't think that really matters.
It does.
Because it's like not very many officers.
Even if one
arrested.
cop, even if one hoorah gets in general population, and trust me, if one cop gets in general population, it's not going to be too good for him. So.
That's never happened before?
No. Not even fucking.
I don't know if that's like the fix it thing. You know what I'm saying?
Not even the
I think that's one of the variable things that might make a difference.
Not even punk ass the Rampart motherfucker Perez, Officer Perez. PC'd up. Motherfucker wrote a book. He's about to get out. Chilling. But this fool shot a fool from 18, planted fucking drugs on him, fucking paralyzed this motherfucker, and all this shit. And he's like, look, okay, it's all good, 7, 8 years later, 10 years later.
So they have the option, so that's not going to help. That's what I'm saying. He PC'd up, so that's not going to help.
No,
they know that they can PC up. So
no,
that's not gonna help.
No, because most of them don't listen. My opinion. Most of them don't listen to shit like this.
But they know when they get there that they could PC up. The cops know about PCs because that's who they use as snitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they fucking know about PCs. So they know that they have that outlet. They know that they could PC up because that's who they use as snitches for informants and information. So they know about the PC shit.
I mean, I guess. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? I think that I'm done. You know what I mean? Like,
so I think just with the real, like, it's a variety of stuff, right? Altogether, we need to address. You need to address like the youngsters that are going to be coming up as police officers. There needs to be a different type of training for these police officers. We should look into community. Hold on. We should look into community policing, and.
For all you guys that don't know, Dave Grossman is the only nationwide, all of the United States, he does the police training. He's the one that tells you 10 seconds to be on his neck, 20 seconds to be on his neck. What is appropriate? What isn't appropriate? Look him up. Lieutenant, to be even specific, Lieutenant Grossman. Because that bitch ass fool went to the fucking military. He is the one that when officers go to training, and you know what's funny? Detroit, and I thought fucking, it was in Indianapolis we saw about, you know? Indianapolis?
No, Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. My bad. Minneapolis, but I know for sure Detroit, and I think Mississippi, but I'm not too sure on Mississippi, have banned the training of bitch ass motherfucking faggot, homo, fuck all his family, David Grossman, fuck all his kids, to have banned the city.
Who banned it?
The city.
Which cities banned it? Name the cities.
I just said Detroit.
I know. I'm asking you. I don't remember.
I just said Detroit.
Okay, I'm asking
Detroit,
you which ones again.
And I'm not sure if Mississippi. I was very clear.
I know, but I didn't hear, so I asked you which ones.
They have banned the whole training of David Grossman training their officers on the field for whatever the hell you want to call it, like self-defense or whatever. He does a whole training. He's the only person. You can't go to someone else. You can't go to Erica. You can't go to me. You can't go to another person that trains. No one other than Dave Grossman, Lieutenant Dave Grossman, are you allowed to go and be like, oh, you know what? Let's do this training with our officers. Look them up. I'm not even lying. I did a whole thing on fucking my shit on the fucking IG about this faggot motherfucker. Ban him. Get him the fuck out of there. Because he believes it's my life or your life. But he's talking about army shit. You know what I'm saying? The way he works is armed forces. Of course, if I'm on the fucking field in fucking Iraq and you're coming at me, it's me or you. We're talking about right here. That's who we have training our officers? For reals? Look that motherfucker up. I'm not lying to you. I'm bullshit you not. Lieutenant Grossman. This fool trains them for that. He's wrote books on all kinds of different shit. Get him the fuck out of here. That's another reason we have all this shit going down. That's all based on the whole What is that called? On the 1, 2 second, 3 second, whatever the fuck. Like, I have a opportunity to do some shit. You know what I mean? Or react. You know what I mean? That's him. That's the one that did that. He's the one that put that shit in writing that said, oh, you have 1 to 3 or 1 to 6 or 1 to whatever the fucking seconds you ever want to say to react. That's him. He's the one that put that shit in effect. Look it up. I'm not lying to you. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. Fuck what the fuck he teaches. Because it's military. That has nothing to do with right here in our cities. No, for real. You haven't heard of this fool? David Grossman? You haven't heard of this fool?
Nope.
Oh my God. When Erica reads about him, because Erica's that person, she's going to be like, wow. I cannot believe that this is the guy that the United States of America, not just me or you or him or he or she or that, the U.S. has been like, okay, let's let him tell us how things should be or not be. He's an army guy. Like, what the fuck? And he's a white dude. Look him up, I'm telling you. You fools were not. You guys might think that I'm fucking around, but look him up. You guys will be fucking disgusted on this fool's fucking decision making on what needs to be or not be. And I know I'm going on a rant, but I hate that motherfucker. I fucking hate him. I swear to fucking, I hate him. Sorry, I hate him. I'm gonna stop. I hate him. Sorry.
So, Two Beans in a Pod. This is our podcast, episode 17 on police brutality. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Two Beans in a Pod on IG. TWOBEANSINAPOD_1 and on Facebook, Downer Erica PEANS Peens, and here on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks Primo for always tuning in, being on live.
That is our number one supporter.
And yep, from all the way from Mexico. And then we have like a couple episodes coming up that we postponed, giving a highlight on Latino or Latina that you believe is deserving. We're going to do that next week possibly. We also have like one that we want to do on money, so budgeting and stuff like that, and how money stays in the community or doesn't stay in the community, and how our money and or the Latino community versus like the Korean and other communities is. So money, economics, and then old school and new school thoughts, mind, just the way we think. Old school and
our generation is different than the other one. What do you think about it?
Other generations, and we might bring our kids into that one. We have kids that are like a quarter old, and then we have one that's like a dime. Yeah, so like we have a variety. So, and then we're a good 40 years old. So that's a whole.
Hey, I'm not 40.
That's a whole
I'm
generation.
22.
So yeah, so we have a couple of things coming up. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going out on IG, so deuces on IG. And then everybody else, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you could keep posted on what we have coming up next. And
yeah, just tune in, support, fucking subscribe. Remember that shit right there, right here. Subscribe, fucking tap the bell, fucking let us know what you think. You know what I mean? Even if we're doing fucked up shit, I don't give a fuck. Like, interact with us. That's what we're here about. That's what we're doing.
Good night,
You know
Primo.
what I'm saying? Peace, Neto. I love your ass. You know what's up. You know what I mean? And with all that said, hey,
See you next
Two
week.
Beans in a motherfucking pod. And thank you guys for tuning in. And I appreciate you both.
See you next
we
Wednesday.
appreciate you guys. And therefore, see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.